Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. I want to give a special welcome to Holland, to my viewers in Holland, to my viewers in Trinidad, Tobago, Denmark, among other places. Good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. I always like to give a special welcome to my viewers and subscribers, my new viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Your kindness, your generosity, your support of Sunshine Shoulders has truly been amazing. I'm so very thankful. My channel is geared toward the new man and woman who's never been here to the Philippines before, but has an interest in coming here. My almost 12 years, in April to be 12 years, doesn't make me a know-it-all, and if I come off like that, I apologize. I'm really just trying to be helpful. But it does give me a unique perspective, and I like to share that with you to make your trip here more enjoyable and above all things safer. I'm boots on the ground. I'm right in the center of all this, and it's for your benefit. I live among the locals, and I'm always going to give you the nitty-gritty. That's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat that. My topic for today is, living here in the Philippines is like playing basketball on a 3-foot goal. And you're probably wondering, well, where did he get that crazy topic from? Well, a gentleman, he told me to keep him anonymous. He asked me in my comments, he said, Calvin, have you really recreated your life over there? He said, and how did you do it? And this is my answer to him. It's really simple, really. I'm basically the same person. Yeah, the Philippines has changed me, but I'm basically the same person. And I'm playing the same game of life. It's just under a new set of rules. See, in the Philippines has a new set of rules than the United States. When I was in the United States, I struggled with a lot of stuff. Mostly stress. I was reading something last night. The American Psychological Association says that 72% of Americans have some type of stress dealing with, it's called financial stress. Whether it's the rent, debt, or whatever, and that was me, and I struggled, man, so, I equated it to like trying to shoot a ball through a 20-foot high hoop. And you can imagine how difficult that would be. Yeah, sometimes I'd have some success, but most times, you're struggling just to get the ball up there, let alone make it in. So I come to the Philippines and find out that the basketball hoops over here are 3 foot high, So of course, I'm having more success here. I'm scoring more points, and the game is easier. Only because I found some rules that are beneficial to me. That's really what it boils down to. I'm still the same person, just a new set of rules. So, it doesn't matter if you come to the Philippines, Mexico. It doesn't matter if you can find a place. If you, in your home country, if you're tired of, playing the game of life on a 20-foot high rim, then hell, do your research. Try to find a place where you can play the game on 3-foot hoops. And that's what I found over here. I haven't had an argument in almost 3 years. Wow. Yeah. That's a new set of rules for me. See, in my home country, man, I'm arguing all the time. Sports, religion, politics, in my relationship with my kids. I can step outside my door and somebody's waiting to argue with me. It's different over here. That's all. The world's 197 million square miles, ladies and gentlemen. I always remind you of that. If you're struggling over in your country, if you're frustrated, then hey, step outside of that country. There's a lot to see, there's a lot to do outside of your little zone. I don't even want to say comfort zone, it's cringy to me, but if you're struggling over there, look around. Play the game under rules that are more beneficial to you, and that's all it is over here with me. I'm better at the game in the Philippines. That's basically it, guys. In a nutshell, I'm shooting now. Hell, it's easy. I just come back and just drop the ball in the hoop over here, over there, man. I was struggling, man, but that's really all it is, you know. And I wanted to, another gentleman asked me, he says, Calvin, I talk about how finding clothes over here is a problem for me, especially shirts, more or less. And then, of course, pants too, because, even though it may say a 38, it's not going to be an American size 38, a European size 38. It's going to be a Filipino size 38. And he said, well, what about okay, okay, which is spelled Ukay, Ukay? Is that really an option for me? And after everywhere you go in the Philippines, okay, this is it's a big business here. It gives Filipinos a chance to, get branded items, better quality of clothing. It's a second-hand place, where they sell shoes, bags, garments, apparel, clothing. And, it started, according to, what I was reading, it started back in the 80s when, the Philippines had so many calamities over here. So the Philippine Salvation Army was sending, clothes and shoes and stuff to these places. And, after the calamity, the stuff was piling up, so they started selling it to traders. And then the traders would offer it to the general public. And at first, it was more popular with the low income, but then because it was so much branded items, because the stuff's coming from, North American countries and European countries, that even the well-to-do will shop in the okay. And okay, it comes from the Cebuano word. It's a verb. It means to dig or to sort through. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to go into a place, and now they're getting a little better. They're having stuff hung up and on hangers and stuff. But most of the time, you're just going there and it's just a big table, it's just a big pile of clothes. And you sift through it, and you have the patience. You're going to find some gems in there, some diamonds in the rough in there. But for me, in my almost 12 years here, I bought one pair of shoes, and that's because I was in San Carlos. I had left my shoes in an Airbnb, my Adidas, brand new pair of Adidas. And so I got here, and I work out. So my girlfriend said, why don't you go over here? Because mostly what they sell in these stores here is Class A apparel. It's not real. And I don't want to, hurt my knees and ankles. So she said, well, go to the okay. You can find some real gym shoes there, they used. And that's what I did. I only did that one time, but as far as clothes, it's not for me because, they say it's second hand. But honestly, to me, it's more like fourth or fifth hand. It's something that the DAV or the Goodwill America doesn't want. Then you got to boil the clothes. You got to go through so much once you get it. But here, it's a big option because every peso counts. But some guys, they do shop in there. I don't have the patience for it. And then, like I said, you have to jump through so many hoops just to, like I said, I had to boil them shoes and then clean them and, and all of that. And I bought a nice little pair of Nikes, and I'm going to give them away. They're still here. I don't wear them no more because I bought me a pair of Adidas when I was in Cebu before the pandemic. But for me, it's not an option for me for clothes. Or I'm not a regular customer of okay. But, I guess you could come over here and find that kind of stuff because you got two options. You go to the mall and the stuff is going to be expensive. I mean, even with American standards. Or you take the Chinese route because a lot of these stores are full of just Chinese stuff and the quality just isn't there. So you got the expensive, the Chinese, and then I guess the okay is right there in the middle. But no, for me, it's not. And, another thing that I was asked about, he said, can I do a video on the superstitions and beliefs in the Philippines? Man, I'd have to do 5 videos on that. But what I can tell you is this, is that a lot of Filipinos, young and old, lose their lives every year because of their superstitions and beliefs. It just happened in this family in 2020. My girlfriend, her brother's wife, she was 35 years old. She was having kidney problems, and I knew it was kidneys. I said, hey, and the doctors, they wanted her to get on dialysis, and she's from the province over in Cebu, and they didn't believe in that. She thought that somebody up there had put some black magic on her, and so she was going around to these quack doctors and everything, trying to get the spell removed. Well, she waited too late, and she ended up dying, man. She was 35 years old. It's real sad, but then a quack doctor down in Zamboanga, his wife actually died. He lived back in Riverville where I was living, and he's the quack doctor there, and she was sick. I think she had high blood pressure, diabetes, but he was trying to cure it, and she ended up dying. He ended up losing his wife. So I can't say that. It's just so many superstitions and beliefs here, and it's not a knock against Filipinos. That's just their, it's part of their cultures. There's a lot of cultures over here. But yeah, a lot of people over here die every year because of that. Their superstitions and beliefs. A gentleman asked me about he said every time he looks on YouTube or Facebook, CCTV seems to catch everything over here. And yeah, it's everywhere over here. The minute you leave your house, you're probably going to be on CCTV over here in the Philippines. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I've never seen anything like it either. It took me a while to wake up to it because, it's just something that I really didn't pay attention to because privacy is important to me, but I'll sacrifice some privacy for my safety. All right, but privacy is very important to me. That's why I have a door on my bathroom. That's why I have a door on my bedroom. It's very important, and people always say, well, if you didn't have anything to hide. No, it's not about that. We all deserve a certain level of privacy. But in the Philippines, wherever you go, you're on camera. Absolutely. And it's just something that you're going to get used to. And a lot of times when you're new over here, you're not even going to be aware of it. But you'll watch the news and you'll be like, man, that's why, they have such a success rate catching these criminals and stuff over here, man, because it's all caught on CCTV. I mean, it's everywhere. And it's amazing, really. But it's something that you won't even pay any attention to until, somebody wakes you up to it. Like I said, you might be watching the news, you might be watching Facebook or YouTube, and you're like, man, everything's captured on the CCTV. It's everywhere in the Philippines. So get used to that. Get ready for that. But it's just some things I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I'll always go through my comments, because if it's not for my viewers and subscribers, I mean, I would not have a channel, really. So I have to talk about what you want to talk about. I was going to talk about something else, today, but I said, no, I'll just save it for another day because, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you because I'm going to tell you something else, because like I tell you all the time, it's true. I don't know it all. I'm not an expert on the Philippines, but I tell you what, I've got the best subscribers on YouTube, and I argue with anybody about that. If it's something that I haven't addressed, you can guarantee it's in my comments somewhere. Or if I addressed it, they'll go into much more detail. I mean, when I talked about the 5-6 law, the 5-6 game over here, it's the loan shark game over here. Some guy sent me the whole, laws, regulations, and everything about the 5-6. When a guy asked me, he said, hey, where do the brothers stay? He said, where do the brothers, talking about African Americans, he said, where do they hang out in the Philippines? Some guy from the Subic era, the Angeles City era, man, he sent me a long list of stuff. He said, we hang out here. He gave me his phone numbers, emails, all kinds of stuff, man. So it's like that in my comments. But I always address, because it's important. You on my channel, you know, you know, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so thankful for that. But I want to talk about those things today. Yeah, you know, over here, life is easier for me over here. And I would suggest you find a place where life is easier for you, where you can play the game on a 3-foot hoop. Because it's a lot funner, man. You know, when you have success, man, it makes life a lot better, man. You know, I'm better at the game. I'm scoring more points over here. I don't want to go back to America and be shooting, playing the game on a 20-foot high rim, and it's getting higher over there. All right? I don't shop at the Okay. It's just not an option for me, but for some people it is. For Filipinos, it absolutely is. And another thing I found out about the Okay, it's basically illegal over here, but they don't enforce that law. They have a law that makes Okay illegal. It's something about, you know, the health and welfare of the Philippines, that act. But yeah, it's illegal. And yeah, CCTV is everywhere here. Get used to that. A lot of Filipinos, young and old, lose their lives every year because of their superstitious beliefs. You know, it's not something I really delve into because, you know, they're going to misinterpret it as if I'm knocking their cultures, and I'm not doing that. But I do know that it happened in this family last year. The young lady was 35 years old. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. If you're in America, it's getting late. If you're in Denmark, it's getting late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. If you don't want them late grocery runs, beer runs, need I say weed runs, or you just getting off second shift, and you see somebody in the street, give them a couple of dollars, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink. If you're in the Philippines, it's early. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. So we have the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help. I'm going to be helping some people today. A lot of this I can't put on video, but some of it I will. You know, I usually do my stuff anonymous. Now, the Filipino culture, they love to see it, guys. So I want you to know, you know, because some people say, oh, it's cringy to do that. But not over here. If you don't believe me, look up Vic Soto. Look up Jessica Soho. Rafi Tufo. Look up Willie Revillame. Big stars here who became big stars because of their charitable acts toward the Filipino people. And that's why it's so important that we help each other, because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.